I put your slippers out exactly where you want it. I bring you breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
But I don't touch you at all.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
I would still feel unloved. I would still feel unseen, even
Why?
though you're doing, just because the things you're doing to me, I appreciate them, but like, they're not, to me, they don't show me how much you care.
I'm the one that is not my father, but it's hard for me.
Hi, baby.
Hello.
Hi, viewers.
Hello, everyone.
So welcome to today's episode. We will be talking about how to speak your spouse's love language.
Love language, yeah.
Good. So, as usual, we're quite excited to talk about this
Very
because...
excited, yeah.
Because
it's our personal experience as well. So we want to share how it's been helping us, and maybe you can learn one or two from it. And if you can tell us your own experiences, that would be lovely as well.
Yeah, I think quite a lot of people know what the 5 major love languages are.
Yeah.
Affectionate touch, quality time, what's the other one?
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Buying gifts.
And acts of service, isn't it?
Acts of service,
So
yeah.
5 love languages. The question is, how do we use this knowledge? You can be very fluent in a particular love language, and that's not your spouse's love language. And you two
Very
love
true.
each other.
Yeah.
It's just that you don't know how to communicate your love to your spouse because you're talking to them in your own love language.
Hit and miss.
How do you think it will feel if your love language is affectionate touch? And we saw this in a movie we watched recently.
I think we
isn't
saw,
it?
yeah. We
Your
did.
love language is affectionate touch, and my love language is acts of service. And I carry on serving you as much as possible. I pull out the chair for you.
Yeah.
I hold the door for you. I open the car door for you. Right?
Yeah.
I put your slippers out exactly where you want it. I bring you breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
But I don't touch you at all.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
I would still feel unloved. I would still feel unseen, even though
Why?
you're doing, just because the things you're doing to me, I appreciate them, but like, they're not, to me, they don't show me how much you care.
What?
That's exactly how I feel.
And this is exactly how I feel because I don't understand what you're talking about. Like I'm breaking my head over here trying to make you feel loved.
Yeah, just because that's not how I feel, loved. When the acts of service is not how I will feel loved. It's not, you're not touching me. I want to be touched. I want to be hugged. I want to be held. And if I'm not getting that, there's nothing else, that will make me feel loved in that relationship. So it's just, that's just how it is.
So
I think the main thing is just about recognizing what your partner needs and how they want to be, loved. If you get that, then you will make that partner happy. Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Fine. So basically, I'm trying my best, but it's not coming through.
Yeah.
How do I translate this my language into your language so that you start speaking it? Because as far as I'm concerned, what's happening is you're not appreciating my efforts.
Yeah.
And for you, what's happening is I'm not loving on you.
Yeah.
So how do we marry the two?
I think first of all, we have to do it by talking to each other.
Oh, God.
Because talking is the main thing. We have to. No one can run away from talking because that's the only way you can express yourself. That's the only way you can calm down and understand the other person's point of view.
Yeah.
So if I don't feel loved, first of all, I want to understand how do you feel loved?
Okay.
You might tell me acts of service. I'll be like, okay, I can click it and say, okay, that is why you're doing it. But that is not how I feel loved. So I can do it for you because that's how you feel loved. But you need to learn to love me the way I want to be loved.
Okay, fine. So what if I don't even know? For instance, like your love language is physical touch.
Yeah.
You don't really know it as your love language. Do you know there are people like that?
True.
They just can't quite explain it, but they know that when there are things that you do to them and they will feel loved. They can't quite put their hands on it or they can't quite put a finger on it, but they know that you're not doing that thing.
Yeah.
So, I think there is a bit of self-discovery with it as well.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, that partner needs to really discover herself, which is one of the things we need to do as single people, actually. Before you even get into a relationship, you should know yourself enough that you will know exactly what you want in your partner. Because if you don't know yourself enough, you won't meet the right person. You won't be happy in a relationship because you don't know how to explain yourself to the next person. You don't know how that person will show you love because you don't know yourself.
That's true.
So it's as simple as that.
Okay, so the first thing is to know yourself.
Yeah.
And the second thing is to communicate who you are to your spouse.
Yeah.
But whilst you're communicating, and the other thing I found about this whole love language thing is, whilst I'm speaking my love language to you and you're not understanding my love language, right? Yeah. If you came to me and you said, look, I appreciate your acts of service. However, I would appreciate it more if you touched me more. And this happened between us as well.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a reluctance for me to believe that something as simple as touch is what you need.
What you need.
No. It can't be. What do you mean? I'm pulling out chairs. I'm fixing everything in the house. I'm making sure your needs are provided. I'm sweating to make you happy. And you're telling me that you don't feel loved because I'm not touching you too. You must be ungrateful. So there is that as well. I think in the beginning, when two people are speaking two different love languages, the first thing that happens when you try to communicate your love language to the other person is they feel initially there's disbelief and there's resistance.
Yeah, definitely. That's the reason why you need to keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking. Yeah. Let them understand that this is what makes you happy. And if that partner really loves you, they will be open to doing that thing that will make you happy. No matter how crazy it sounds or simple.
Yeah.
You know.
The flip side of it is there are people who have genuine struggles in expressing love a certain way. I'll give you an example. So there are men who might be very good at touching their spouses. They're very good at touching, hugging, kissing, everything. But they don't feel that they should serve a woman. Meanwhile, your love language as a woman is being served. And the moment you start serving her, she will just bloom, and you will bring her, and you will just see the best in her come out. But the block is that he just cannot bring himself
to serve you.
Because there is a mental block that if I begin to serve her now, she will stop respecting me, or something of that nature. Or take for instance, he may find it easy to serve you, but doesn't understand why he should be touching you all the time, especially in public. He just doesn't do PDAs. How do you reconcile that? When there is a block, it's just not in that person's nature to speak your love language.
To be honest, I think the best time to tackle that is at the beginning of a relationship. Yeah. Remember, this is one of the things we talked about when we started. Yeah. We talked about love languages. How do you want to be loved? Yeah. And at that point, that was when I had to actually look into myself and discover myself more to be able to communicate that to you. Yeah. So it starts from talking about it. You need to know yourself to the point that is this guy willing to give me this thing that I know is important to me? Yeah. If you feel like you can live with him not giving you that, then go ahead with the relationship. But if you feel like he can't change, I know he can't change, but I'll try and change him, that is a disaster that is waiting to happen. Yeah. If you can't live with it, tell yourself the hard truths and don't even go into it at all. Yeah. Because you end up being frustrating the person that has very good intentions. Yeah. And the relationship will just end up, in heartbreaks and everything. Yeah. At the beginning, if all these things are discussed, I believe, it will give you an idea of what kind of relationship you have. Yeah. And when you get into it, you actually work on it and it works out really well. Yeah. Which was what we did as well. So, I think it's just about really thinking far into your life. What do I want for myself? What kind of person do I want for myself? What image do I see? What picture do I see when I'm in a relationship? How do I want it to be? From there, you can think about all these things, and then you can discuss with your spouse when they come along. So yeah. Sorry, I'm going too deep.
No, that's fine. No, that's perfectly okay. Yeah. The other thing I was thinking about, right? Mm-hmm. There are people who have a very bad habit of withholding their love language from their spouse whenever there is a disagreement or a quarrel.
True.
The moment there is a quarrel, my love language for you ends.
Yeah. You forget that you love that person. You want to make him suffer because, because you're not happy. The only thing it does, it puts more strain in your relationship.
That is true.
Even if you're unhappy, I believe
You
it
can
shouldn't
talk
stop.
about it,
You can
yeah.
talk about it. It shouldn't stop you from doing your duty as a wife or as the husband or as the person in the relationship. Serve your spouse. Let them know. Tell them that you're not happy, but still serve them.
In fact, do you know what I've discovered, babe?
Yeah.
Especially between me and you.
Yeah.
The best way to communicate your dissatisfaction to your spouse
Yeah.
is whilst speaking their love language.
True.
You've made me angry, babe.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I'm touching you.
Yeah.
I don't like what you did today. I mean, I'm not saying you did it deliberately. I'm just saying I didn't like it. You want to tell me what I've done wrong?
Yeah.
You can be putting out the food and saying, babe, this is your dinner. I hope you like it. Hey, I just wanted to talk about that thing that happened yesterday or today. You know, I can shut down my phone, put it away, give you quality time whilst
You're eating, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
People should stop this habit of taking away the love that they're showing to their spouse simply because they have a disagreement.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Very true. Because the only time for you to get to the root of matters is actually to talk about it in love.
Yeah.
If you deny them their love language just because you're angry, it will only create more gap between you guys.
And you want to be heard in that
You can't be heard anymore.
in that moment. It's not possible.
Yeah.
It's not that easy to know what your love language is, let alone know what someone else's love language is. And it takes work.
Yeah. All the 5 love languages are appreciated by everyone, but there are ones that make you, happy.
Feel more loved. Particularly.
Yeah.
It all goes back to our personal experiences. There are people who weren't validated enough as they grew up. And they then became people who really thrive when they get even the least affirmation.
Yeah.
And you can't say you love them whilst denying them that affirmation.
And if you don't say anything, they feel like you don't love them anymore.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
The moment the love language stops, it almost feels like the love stops.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm all for getting mature to the point where you are so secure in your partner's love that you don't need that constant validation, by way of a particular love language. And I think, by God's grace, I think we're there at that level where I'm not always looking for you to speak my love language to me every single
day,
that because
I think of you, or to know that I'm, you're always on my mind.
Exactly.
That's
now we are in a place where I appreciate anything that comes from you, whether it's a touch, whether it's acts of service, whether it's physical, whether it's a quality time, whether it's gifts. I appreciate everything that comes, and it almost feels to me, it almost feels to me like at this moment in time, there is no particular love language that supersedes the other.
Yeah.
When it's coming from you.
Yeah. Same here, actually.
But whilst we were building, it was important that I spoke your love language more. Yeah.
That makes sense. Wow.
Anyway.
That is deep. Very deep.
Excellent. I think that was a good one.
Yeah, I think so too.
I wish you guys the best anyway, and thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for learning with us, and I pray that you take 1 or 2 things away. Give us a comment, leave us a comment if you feel like there's something else you need to talk about, or there's a point that you need to mention,
or a question,
or even if you have a question, feel free to message us or leave it in the comment section. All right?
Okay.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
All the very best. Bye.
Bye.